It's now June 24th, and just a few last things to do here with this record player before putting it all away, and that's the check and improvement in the lubrication in it. Now, unlike a lot of players of this age, this one worked really well, and a lot of the lubrication is still in good shape. A little hard to see in the camera, but there's some silicone on here which has lasted, but there's a few other little bits and pieces here and there that could benefit from some oil. Okay, let's start by looking for a few places where oil would be useful. So here's a roller here. It's supposed to bounce along this shape here. So some oil on the actual roller bearing shaft, I guess I could call it, just a wee bit there. We'll come back with some grease in a minute. Grease these a little bit. There's another roller here. Just a little bit too much there. So you really need just tiny amounts of this stuff. There's another piece here. So this part, activate, but this part is the part that moves to drop the record. I can tell that it's kind of scraping along the inside of that. You can hear it. I think I'm going to throw a little oil up that way. Some grease would be maybe a little better there. Okay. There's a shaft going through to the speed control knob up here. Moves very, very easily, but I'm sure there's a shaft and a sleeve arrangement here. In here. Really isn't. Okay. Don't do anything with oil with that. This is pivoting on a bearing here. These the large angles here means a little bit of friction in here is not going to do anything. To do something permanent on these switches. I've taken the little cardboard blocker out. Do something permanent with them. I think it's grease time. It's synthetic grease. I'm not going to wipe out the old stuff. You barely see it in the camera here. I'm just going to augment this with some additional. This piece here, this piece swings back and forth, and no, then maybe this piece doesn't swing back and forth, but the piece over the top here slides on it. There's a sliding surface. That's really what I want to say. You really need the grease up in here. Remnants of the original still there. A lot of these record players, the original lubrication they use just dries right up and actually turns into a glue more than anything. This one, they seem to have used some stuff here that's just not drying up. Very good. Okay, so now we've got to sort out the switches here, what to do about these on a permanent basis. My plan is to disable them both. I could just cut them away. They're gone forever, and that's the problem. I don't want it gone forever. But maybe what I'll do is I'll just stick some tape, some black tape under them, so they just can't make contact. So now the cartridge will be live the whole time. Not ideal, but good enough. Great. So I think it's into the cabinet now, and then one last play test just to be sure it's working still.
Black snake.
fading is me working the volume controls to try to avoid a copyright hit. What happened there? Okay, well, I was testing this over and over and over, and then this happened. Oh, no power. Yeah, power on, please. This happened. We'll shut off. Right back to the very, very same problem at the start again. And you know why? I moved this when the mechanism was only partially done. When there was still engagement down here, down in the back here. I just pulled the tone arm over and I knew right away, oh my gosh. I think I've pivoted where the two locking screws are. I think I pivoted that shaft. And wrecked it. Son of a gun. Well, as upset as I am now, I'm thinking, I thought these record players had systems in them, slip clutches. So if you did block the tone arm during automatic operation, things slip out of place, but then later they are slipped back into place and everything's okay again. That doesn't seem to be the case with this guy. Shoot. It's really disappointing. Okay, tone arm's locked in place. I advance the mechanism to swing the arm over. Now we need to move this plate here. Yeah, look at that. It's just loose as can be again. I just didn't tighten it. Fraction of a millimeter adjustment here. Okay, tighten those screws down better. Oh, did I just overlook doing it, or did I just not give it enough? See, I could tighten that using too small of a screwdriver. Lots of power here. Yeah, there's quite a bit of turn in that. So I just used too weak of a screwdriver. when you tighten one, it pushes up against the other. So maybe tightening one right up is really tightening them both. Okay, I don't think I can get that any tighter than it is. Sitting right up on top, and we operate this. Probably. No record. Smart player. Right on the money. Wow. Lucky. Oh, still going to stop short here. Okay, mechanism's free with power. Without power. Seems to be lifting it awfully high. Lift with this, even that's awfully high. That's crazy high. It's got to be high enough to clear this little bump here, which it is. An adjustment for how high the machine lifts it. There's an adjustment for how high this lifts it. That's that adjustment there. Went all the way this time. Too far, if anything. Too high. Still too high. I think it's lifting it too high. That's what I think. In the manual it says when you operate the lifting lever, the tone arm or the needle should end up 4 millimeters above the record. Well, that's like a mile high in comparison to where it's supposed to be. So let's see if I can drop this. 4 millimeters is hardly off the record. There's something funny about this adjustment here. Okay, so the idea there is I turn this part by hand and it should change the height. Oh. Everything's tangled up here on everything. The sleeve's going up and down, nothing else is. Sleeve is up out of its threaded area by the time you get to there. This mechanism's not finished here. Yeah, it is. I think I'd have to raise it enough to lift out of here. Which it does. Well, that's what puts it 5 miles high. That 4 millimeters, just, I don't know if I can even believe it. It's definitely a long ways down. Four millimeters would look like that. I haven't got it. This sleeve just doesn't seem to do anything. I'm going to watch this operate here. Okay, engage, high speed here. Now, that also looks kind of ridiculously high. Is this the one that adjusts? See if we can go anywhere. What is this little adjustment here? Looks like it would stop it from going too low, is really what it looks like. Okay. So at that point, it's on the record. Oops, now it's off the record here. Well, the sleeve goes up and down, but nothing is going with it. What's that all about? So there's direct instructions on how to adjust the height, and it's about turning that knurled piece there. What's going on? Safety link on the lift shaft prevents the lift shaft from turning, thus preventing the tone arm from moving laterally. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Skate, cartridge slide carrier. Nothing more down here. Tone arm height. When the tone arm is lifted by the control cam, fit 153. There is no 153. Where's 153? I've looked at manuals like this before, and what they're referring to will be on another diagram here somewhere. There, 153 is the whole wheel here. 153, control cam. Lifted by the control cam, maybe film 53. The distance between the top of the tone arm and the chassis should be 60 millimeters. An adjustment can be made by turning the sleeve 47. This. Well, it doesn't seem to do anything. What adjustment? It says, let's see. An adjustment can be made by turning the sleeve. The distance between the top of the tone arm and the chassis should be 60 plus or minus a half a millimeter. Oh my gosh. 0.002 inches, 2/1000ths of an inch. The adjustment can be made turning the sleeve. When raised by the lift lever, the distance should be 51. The adjustment can be made by turning screw 44. Oh, screw 44. So, screw 44, when tracking force is approximately, both cases measurement should be made when the tone arm is swung into a diameter of approximately that amount. Lifting, tone arm height incorrect, lifting shaft out of adjustment. Turning the sleeve. When it's the control cam that's lifting it. The sleeves seem to do nothing. And tone arm in the chassis 60 millimeters. 51 when the lift lever. Yikes. 60 millimeters. Okay, so the lift is supposed to be 60 millimeters above the deck. Let's find out here. Right there. Must be the top of the deck to the top of the tone arm. And it depends where you measure it here too, 60, it's way, way, way off. Way off. And they're talking about a fraction. So definitely lifting too high. Now it says the lift adjustment can be made by turning the sleeve. Nothing at all is happening. Okay, the other adjustment is this screw here. Let's turn that, regardless of when the instructions say you're supposed to do it. The screw is very easy to turn. Well, that's as low as it goes there. Oh no. Ooh. That's closer to 4 millimeters. What did that do to the other lift? Millimeters. It's not enough to get out of the holder here. How's that supposed to work? Now the height is supposed to be adjusted with the sleeve. Something maybe is stuck in here. Maybe that's what's happened. I just moved the sleeve. This piece moving, pushing, So the shaft pushing up has a powerful spring pushing up this way, and maybe this. You know what? Let's take it. I think I understand what's happened here. I think I understand what's happened. Let's take a look here. I think I got the picture. Well, the white disc is probably out of place. Perhaps the white disc should be in that slotted area. Or the white disc should be fused to the knurled part, or the finger turning part. So as you turn the finger turning part, you're pulling this disc up and down in effect. And the disc is in the slot. It looks like it's in a slot up here. Is it in the wrong slot? It's definitely being held there. And this disc is split. It's a split disc. Is it supposed to just be in a lower spot? Now, how would that help? So you want to keep this from going up so high, so you want to pull this downwards like that. So it has to be captured in the top of this piece. And then as you turn it, you pull it downwards. But what's happened is the white plastic disc has come out. So like it should be stuck in here. And now I'd be pulling the disc downwards to pull this downwards. Is any of that really true? Sure doesn't really look like it, does it? You think that white disc was somehow attached to the black thing? And the force is very strong. That white disc would have to be very solidly glued if it's going to stay on there. Is that what they did there? Oh, maybe in the manual I can find some details on this. On this part. Well, here's the part we're talking about. And where's the disc that's floating right here? Is it right on there? Where's that exploded diagram? There's a general exploded diagram. Just glancing at all these on the way. What's that? What are those? I don't think they don't exist, do they? Don't know what those are. Onward. Setting gauge. A lot of diagrams to look at. Wow. You got a big, is that a triangle with a number in it? Is that what that is? What is that? Right on the spot. Okay, we'll assume that's a triangle with a number in it. Oh, here we are. It's a, oh, these are all, no. What have we done here? Lubricating points. Wow, I didn't lubricate that many points. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's upside down. Here we are. This is the one I wanted to see. And we got to spot the lifting part. Then there's not show it? Wouldn't it be out in this area, wouldn't it? What is this? What's the title of this diagram? The title is nothing. Well, I don't think I see it here. There's some more. That looks more like it. Wow. It's just too many parts. There's the knurled thing there. Here we are, 47, that's right. 47. Now, where's the shaft? This is the shaft? I don't think so. Number 2, automatic spindle. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if this is really going to help out a lot here. I just wanted to find out that white disc. Where is it supposed to be? Where's the knurled thing? So here's the knurled thing. They're pointing at something here, 46. 46. There were some numbers up here. Wasn't it up here? Where were they? Where were all those numbers? .46. Retaining ring. Retaining ring. What's this? Got a star. What's a star mean? Star mean critical part. Something stupid like that. All kinds of things that have a star beside them if there's one. Tell me, what is a star? A lot of retainers and retainers here. I'm just looking at all the different things that have a star. Retaining ring. Steel balls. That's what you need to work on this thing. Rubber stopper. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Okay. So I think I know the problem with the record player. I'm not really sure it's something I can solve here. I don't know. Stop and have to think about it a little bit. Well, it's time to say good morning again. It's now June 25th. So I spent the last 24 hours thinking about what to do about the lift here. And the only thing I've come up with is to glue it. Let's take a close look at it here and look at what kind of glue options I've got with this. So first of all, the tone arm is locked down, and if I let the lock up, that's really the height, the spring, that's the maximum height. The spring will push that center rod. I'm pushing the tone arm, you can see from the angle of it, down actually below where a record would be. That's a powerful spring. My hand's way out on this, and it's really pushing back. That's a very powerful spring. Kind of no surprise it might have popped that piece off the top. Now, how did they originally have it held? I'm just going to lock this down again. How did they originally have it held in there? That's a smooth, flat top on that thing. very smooth. Well, have I analyzed this wrong? I wonder if that sleeve is supposed to be over the top of that, and that piece should be inside the sleeve. I don't know about that. Could that be the case, that the sleeve has come off the top? Well, how do you get the sleeve off with that white thing there? So either the white, I'm calling it a sleeve, call it a collar, the white collar glued to the top of the black thing, and then there's that other groove in the rod. Why two grooves? Did something break off and disappear? Was there a thing there before? And what purpose could that collar serve where it is, the way it is? I can't see that it serves any purpose whatsoever. Keep things from going too far down. Keep things from going too far down. How's that a concern? I don't see that it's a concern. So I can't think of anything other than gluing those two things together. We're trying to drop the collar, the black collar. Can I even get it out of there? This is probably always interfered with by the top here. So that's as far as it goes this way. It's probably never ever going to never going to be able to get that black piece off unless I start disassembling this whole thing, and I'm not interested in that. Doing that whole thing might include the whole tone arm too, and I'm certainly not doing that. So glue is the only way. Now, how are you going to successfully glue this? I've got to glue the white piece to the black piece without gluing anything to the rod. The white piece rotates easily, and the white piece could come off because it's split. Or it could go on the lower part. I mean, it's supposed to be on the lower part, and it's on the upper part, and I'm going to glue it to the wrong spot. Well, I don't want to glue it to the rod. I think it's loose now. A very, very strong spring pushing upwards. I think it's just going to rip it off. Epoxy's pretty good, you know. I'd have to hold the arm down so the plunger's pushed and bring this up into contact with it with the glue like that. Well, it's easy to do, particularly if I can figure out a way to hold the tone arm down. I'm sure there's a million ways I can do that. I'll stick a brick on it or something of that sort. That's the plan. That's the only thing I can see worth doing, and then I'm going to have to try to make sure it doesn't glue to the shaft. Now, how am I going to do that? So the shaft itself, I can't get my fingers in there and turn it. I could maybe turn it with a tool. Let's see if that happens. Let me grab a plier here. Doesn't want to turn. I'm not squeezing very hard, but it does not want to turn. So that means if I get the this glued to the white piece solidly, I can turn this and make sure the white piece doesn't stick to the rod, and the black piece too. I have to make sure the glue stays on the outside, kind of. How's that look? make the glue like a lot of glue right on the top, but not where the sleeve. Can I protect the sleeve? Or if I slide a tube over it, how's that gonna? The not the sleeve, the rod there. Can I slide like a shrink sleeve over it? Well, it wouldn't hurt. I don't know if it would really help. Might help. That's not a bad idea. A little shrink sleeve over the rod. Okay, I think I got all the steps in order here. I think I got the whole plan figured out. Let's, okay, so I've got my epoxy right here. I'm going to mix some up and we're going to apply it. Impossible to keep it off the shaft. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, it's all over the shaft. Okay, we'll just have to concentrate on keeping it loose. That's not going to be easy. Okay, now we need to press these two things together. Oh boy. It's a mess. Oh, my camera just fell right into the glue. Yeah, I got glue on my fingers here too. Oh, for crying out loud. Plus I'm holding down this. Too much stuff going on at once here. Okay, now I need to, where's that brick I mentioned? Need that brick now. Wow, that's a little too heavy. There we are. Okay, what do we got happening? I want that glue to come over the white piece here. But not on the rod. Holy smokes. Yeah, keeping it off the rod. That didn't work. But what happened to the idea of putting a little pipe on the rod, Jim? It's a good idea. I wandered around the house and then forgot about it. Okay, so we gotta let this kind of get partially solid and then try to make sure it doesn't. Boy, boy. Okay, so the way I monitor how solid the stuff is getting is I keep the solution, you know, the glue came from, on a little card here where I was mixing it, and I check that to see how solid that's getting, because that is going to tell me what's happening. It's not very solid yet. Now, that is really going to glue up completely solid. What if it goes solid right like that? Well, then I won't have done anything, really. Well, if we try turning this now. Oh boy. Oh, I barely got any glue on the backside. Oh, it lifted up. Ah. Have to be a little more careful of what I'm doing here. Okay, this is like 10 minutes epoxy. It's getting very sticky on the card. I don't think I can really show it on the camera. It's still pretty liquid. Okay, in the worst case, if that were to stay like that, well, it was in the worst case, wasn't it? It was in the unrestricted worst case right from the start. So this is probably the opposite worst case, too far down. Okay, let me check. Yeah. It's just getting thicker and thicker here, of course. Still rotate easy. Still pretty liquid under here. Okay. So of course, here's what I'm doing with the mixture. I'm just examining, you know, how sticky it's gotten. The stuff goes from quite sticky to solid pretty quickly. Okay, I think it's time to rotate. Just leave it now. Okay, it's been just a couple more minutes. This is becoming really tacky now. Okay, let's put the close-up camera in. See what's happening here. Turning this. Okay. Sounds good. Just leave it like that. Yeah. Like that. Okay. Let's give it a little turn here and see where we're at. It's been another few minutes. It's still very liquidy. Good. Good, good, good so far. Okay, a few more minutes. Let's give it another try here. Sure seems very liquid, doesn't it? Well, let's check the really tacky. Doesn't seem as tacky on there, but could just be dimensions and the like. So we'll give it a few more minutes. Well, I've been in here a few times to rotate that piece and make sure it doesn't freeze up. Let's see where we're at now. Good. It's just what I wanted to see. Still quite a bit of liquid in there. This is loose, very loose. Very good. Okay, I think you can probably leave it a long time now. Very good. This has gone better than I kind of dared to hope for. So it's been actually a few hours now. This is hardening up. It's not completely hard. It's still tacky. I find this glue epoxy really takes 24 hours to really harden up properly. Let me take a closer look at it. And I rotate this. Look at that. That's success. That's what that is. So now we gotta let this harden up. I really think for 24 hours. I'm just gonna leave it, and next time we look at it, it'll be tomorrow. Well, it's the 27th of June now. I've let a couple days go by so the epoxy can solidify back there. And now we're gonna give this guy's test, you know, and I'm going to make a close examination of that part the first time I stress it. If I can find my camera. Hey, where'd the camera go? Oh, there it is up here. Okay. Let's get a really good look at it when the glue gives way. I'm going to have to focus this, unfortunately. Just 1 second here. There we go. Okay, all I gotta do is release the tone arm and let it go up. That'll allow the spring to push upwards on the shaft, and if it's too much, it'll just pull that white plate right off, and that'll be the end of that. Here we go. Did it work? Well, it's not pulling it off. Oh, what was that? Okay, so it looks like that's working just fine. Now, the adjustment. You have to make the adjustment on the height. And I can't remember, I can't remember what it was, so I'm going to stop and look at the manual. There is a height measurement from the deck to the top of this. It's a very strong spring. Very, very strong. Spring pushing on that. Okay, I'll get the measurement here. Okay, let's take a look at the instructions here for tone arm height. There's the diagram right there. The distance from the top of the tone arm and the chassis, the distance between the top of the tone arm and the chassis should be 60 millimeters. That's a lot. An adjustment can be made by turning sleeve 47, which is what I glued back together. When raised by the lift lever, the distance should be 51. What happened to the 4 millimeters above the record? 51. 51 millimeters. The adjustment can be made by turning screw 44. When tracking force is approximately 2 P. I don't know what the P is actually, but on this one you can see the number 2 right there, and that's exactly how this record player is set. 2 there. Why the tracking force? I don't know why it has some effect. I don't know. But in both cases, measurement should be made when the tone arm is swung into a diameter of approximately 12 inches. So at least over a large record, because the mechanics can be in the way otherwise, I think. Gotta get it over the record. But you're measuring down to the deck. Measuring chassis, which I normally call the deck. Okay, so 60 and 51. Okay, well, let's do it. 60 and 51. 60. So I think I had this set. Didn't I have this set? 60 millimeters. Yes, it's set to 60 millimeters. So we want this down quite a ways. Rather than use the turning sleeve to drag it down, I think I'm going to push it down, and then I'll take the strain off this. I can turn it in. Is this not going anywhere? I think may have happened here is not a good story. I'm not sure the sleeve I'm turning is engaging with any threads. It is. I think it's loose as can be. Uh-oh. I gotta push it down and engage it. I already tried that. Push it down. What's happened to it? Something happened to it. What's going on there? The mechanism was in its raised state, and maybe I'm making the measurement at the wrong time. Now it's in the correct position. Is it? Okay, well, let's just try doing this lever one. That was a little less. It's 51. It's high. Okay. I'm not getting a really good feeling out of this. So, okay, this is 61, 51. Oops. Don't know why that happened. Hey, what are you doing there? That's 60. That's huh, what's it doing? It's pushing into something. Okay, we'll drop it. Something funny going on. No, I don't want any more funny business. So that should be right on the record now. Funny business. This didn't come down. Okay, before I break the needle, let's put this back here. Situation has not worked out the way I wanted it. This is just floating on the top here. There's no chance you have to turn that center shaft to make the make it go up and down. Is that what's supposed to happen here? I should have glued this to that center shaft. That doesn't make sense. So conceivably, this just isn't engaging with some threads that we can't see down further in there. So if I drive it down further, it should crash into the threads and then resist being pushed down any further, something like that. And then I should be able to thread it. Doesn't feel like it's happening at all. If the needle were on a record, it would look like this. It would be about this high right now. If I bring the lift up manually, currently barely catches the record. And you know what? The needle is roughly maybe 4 millimeters above. I'm going to turn it up a little bit higher here. Okay, and if it were on the record, well, I'll put it right on the platter. Very close. Did that not go down all the way? Huh. How do you like that? So my gluing attempt here has come up with some bad side effects. Oh, is that going up? That's going up. Ooh, it was going up. What's that about? I could have just... I don't know what I'm seeing there. I think it's just sliding up and down. Phooey, that didn't work at all in the end. Wow. Well, let's try the record player and see what it does at this point. You never know. Maybe it's all happy now. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna let it drop a record. Put on the American pressing or North American pressing of the Atomic Rooster record, which I didn't talk much about, but I think a lot of this record. This is one of the, I think one of the best records there is, myself, in my own opinion. Yes, I have an emotional attachment to it, but just the same. The drumming on this record is fantastic. If you pay attention to it, start listening to it, you realize it's the bulk of some of these songs is the drumming. It's like the drumming is the melody. It's very cool. Okay, we're going to try it. See everything that goes wrong here. We're not listening to it at all. Well, there's a problem right there. I thought there's no record. The record didn't drop. Why didn't it drop? Don't give me more trouble now. Wow. What's happening, man? So it has to drop and hit the plunger to tell the record player that there's a record there. Why didn't it drop? It's definitely in there. I'm watching the... This. I'm expecting to see the fingers retract, the tripod fingers retract. They didn't. This is a complicated little mechanism here. It's envisioning a stack of records. It wants to drop only the bottom one. So the first thing it has is little grabbers that come out in here and grab the upper records. And then the lower record is not grabbed. These tripod pieces pull inside and down goes the bottom record while the upper ones are being held. I mean, didn't I drop records with this already? Doesn't seem right. Is this from another record player? Is that possible? I don't think that's even possible. Something's happened here. It's well beyond me. Let's try it again. Yeah, I'm just going to watch. Let me get the other camera and we'll watch closely. what exactly happened there? Let's try it again. That didn't seem like the right operation at all. These wings never go in. This can't be. I have another record player I'm working on here, but I can't imagine I've somehow mixed up the mixed up these guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, play. Oh, well, kind of made it back. Wow, looks like there might be more to the story here I didn't realize now. You see how my epoxy has gone white on the top there, and it looks like a fractured edge is developing all around. I think it's going to pop off. I think if it hasn't already actually come loose. This retaining thing hasn't retained anything. All it's doing is riding up and down on wherever the shaft up here wants to go, because it never threaded into anything. But the situation's even worse, I think. If you look at the very top of the lifting shaft, I guess we're going right up here. There's nothing there, right? It's just, can you see that it's colored from here up? That is a funny color on it. Wonder why that would be. Well, let's take a look in the manual. The exploded part diagram. There's the knurled, or the wheel you turn with your thumb. This could be that little sleeve. What is 45? What is 45? 45 is called friction pin for lifting shaft. Friction pin. Friction pin. Friction. I'm going to go look at some more diagrams up here. Yeah, I know what I'm going to find already. If we look at this diagram, the one with the triangle here, which often they put these kinds of symbols onto schematics and other diagrams to indicate a change has been made. There'd be a number in here, like number 5, and then you look for a list of changes with change number 5. There is no such list. So it's probably maybe just indicating what kind of lubrication should be applied. Don't know for sure, but I know this. What is that? What is that little bump there? I think it shows up in a few more diagrams here. Just work our way up through them all. Till we get to this one. What is that? There's supposed to be a cap on the top of this pin. And the cap would be made of some kind of material that's lower friction than this metal shaft. And the cap had changed the dimensions here. These caps can wear out, break, disappear? This one's disappeared. Without the cap, the lifting arm won't lift high enough, I would think. So you'd have to reset the range of these things. But maybe with the cap gone, you can't. So if somebody's come in here and done what they did to this to make it operate to some degree with the cap missing. That's my theory. It's kind of a crazy theory. Doesn't help me one iota. I haven't got any kind of cap to stick on there. The whole deal has gone down the drain here. So my thinking is the tone arm is not making back to the rest position properly because this is at the wrong height. And I can't adjust the height here because my glue repair didn't work. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. Well, you know, I'm asking myself now, can the record player be used in the condition it's in? The complaint from the owner was the tone arm flew wildly, periodically during its operation. It would fly, and I saw that twice when the record player was here many months ago. But then it stopped doing that. I haven't seen it do it at all since it's been here, and I suspect because of the changes I made up under here, that problem is gone. As for the lifting, the returning properly to the parking position, I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play the record, see what happens here. Again, it's not hooked up to the stereo or anything, so you won't hear any music. Let's just see if it sets down properly, which I'm pretty sure it does. There we go. Does it pick up properly? At the end, does it park properly? This is where I think it's going to fail. The last minute jumped in, a jump. Is the operation consistent? Well, I think from here I have to have a discussion with the owner of the record player, and I think I've solved the primary complaint and discovered a problem that would be ongoing with it. So I've provided some value, but as for returning it to its absolutely proper operating condition, I don't think I can do it. Huh. How do you like that? Hey, thanks a lot for watching this, and I can't guarantee that everything I do here is going to be a great outcome. No guarantees in this work at all. See ya.